Charles Shelby once said, "There's never enough horsepower, just not enough traction." This is the 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. And today, this Cobra makes 760 horsepower. Looking so sinister with its blue racing stripes, iconic silver paint, and enough carbon fiber to make anyone smile. But the fun doesn't stop there. It continues to the inside. Check out these seats, two-tone Recaro racing seats with Alcantara inserts, paired with a very nice Alcantara steering wheel. And with the rear seat deleted, you could technically fit a small pet back there and not have to worry about your leather or Alcantara getting all messed up. Although I would really have to figure out a way to harness Abby. This is not safe. And the trunk space, very usable too. For storage, that is, not pets. Please do not put your pets back there. But one plus, if you did get thrown in the rear, you can quickly escape. Just pull that tab and you're good. And when you jack up the AC, it feels like it cools down immediately. Perhaps that's because I'm used to waiting for a larger SUV. But that is a huge plus. Also a huge plus, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and both USB ports work, either up front or under the center console. And while it didn't happen a bunch, one thing that I did notice, it seemed like Android Auto connected faster than Apple CarPlay. Just an observation. And there are some features in here that just put a smile on my face. Now keep in mind, this is my first Mustang, so for some of you it may already seem familiar. What is that? A narrow little drawer. How wonderful. I could think of so many things you could fit in there. Clip, pens, stamps, handful of nuts. Pistachio nuts, that is. Actually, let me have some of those. I am so famished. Real cup holders that can fit a large beverage. Oil pressure and oil temp gauges, they just are such a great visual pop. This large Alcantara sport wheel. I feel like I need my racing gloves. You got major street cred. Cobras all over this thing, on the inside and out. And truthfully, this exterior color combo, the iconic silver with the blue racing stripe, it looks so good. But it wasn't until I actually got in here and started driving, I didn't realize what I was missing. So enough with the showing, let's get to driving. This is the most powerful Mustang that Ford makes. It's a 5.2-liter V8 with 760 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque. It's actually the most horsepower I have ever driven in a car. It's so powerful that when you smash on the accelerator, you kind of get that feeling you have when you are about to take off on an airplane. No joke. And when you flick the mode and the exhaust to just the right settings, this really sounds like a beast. Now I need to go get gas. That is one thing I've noticed. You burn through a lot of gas and you don't even have to be driving crazy. It's definitely a gas guzzler, hence why you have to pay, I guess, a gas guzzler tax. I think it's like $2,600 or something. You know, I learned to drive in a Ford Windstar minivan. Oh yeah, backing that thing up, parallel parking. My uncles worked for Ford for as long as I can remember. And the fact that I have never been in a Mustang until now, I feel like I've really been missing out. I've been gypped a little bit. Driving around my back roads, I can definitely feel the rear slipping out a little bit, fighting for traction. But if these Michelin tires had time to warm up, I know that these Sport Cup 2s would perform and give you crazy grip. But at the flick of a switch, you're in quiet mode, and it really quiets down. So in the morning when you leave for work, you don't necessarily have to wake up the whole neighborhood, although your immediate neighbors will definitely hear this thing when you turn it on. And while these buttons or switches, whatever you want to call them, are handy, I do wish that they would go up and down. You only can go up. So you have to cycle through when you make your selection. You can't go back and forth. In this Shelby, there are 3 electronic power assist steering settings. Comfort, which gives you the least amount of effort when you're steering. Normal is going to be kind of in the middle. And then Sport, increased steering effort, more immediate connection to the road, which I like. If you like a lot of force feedback, you definitely want to be in Sport steering. I jumped in here after racing on my sim rig, which the wheel on that is so tight. This felt like a loose piece of spaghetti. I didn't realize it was in comfort steering. So when I switched it to Sport, it was much better, which has been great. Around town, I've been driving in normal mode, a quiet exhaust, yet still have the tighter steering and suspension. So you saw at the beginning of this video, electronic line lock in action. I was a little nervous, but I knew nothing bad was gonna happen. Honestly, I just wasn't sure if it was gonna leave marks in the ground, which it doesn't, so that's fantastic. You just follow a series of prompts displayed real nice up here in your gauge cluster, and it works by locking the front brakes, releasing the rear, tap on the Cobra, track apps, line lock, there you go. The only thing is, make sure you really smash on the brake or it is not gonna work. You also have to be in drive, don't forget that. And there you go, pair it with launch control and you are ready for your race. The only negative thing about it is the smell. It sticks with you in your hair, your clothes, and if you pull this thing in the garage at night, I guarantee you'll still smell it in the morning. There's also a track app you can see right here. It will measure your acceleration, give you lap time info, automatic countdowns, which is super cool. And you can also change the colors, although it's a little bit of a multi-step process. So if you haven't yet gotten in one of these, just do it, because until you're behind the wheel, I don't think you'll really quite understand. So is the Shelby GT500 Mustang perfect? Well, actually, it almost is. This is the benefit of having 7 years worth of production to fine-tune a product. Actually, in my opinion, it was very similar to how I felt about the Nissan GT-R Nismo. It was the culmination of a decade of refinement. But this is the American version of that, and in true red, white, and blue form, a 760 horsepower beast was created. The very simple fact that I could say I was comfortable while driving something with this type of output is pure insanity. But more importantly, it makes me so proud with what this country can do and what it's built. This 5.2-liter V8 is truly like an American AMG, built by American technicians right out of the Ford plant in Michigan. I know that I will never look at a Mustang the same ever again. This is definitely Lab Mom approved, and I can't wait to see what Ford cooks up in the next generation Mustang and even the Mach-E. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And next week, we come back at you with another lab-tested review. We'll see you next time. Bye!